my name is Joel Anthony De Silva. I am from Christ University, and I'm studying a BTech in computer science specialized in data science. I'm currently a third year. So my project is called Wildlens AI. So this is Wildlens AI, and the reason I have done this project is because basically the gist of the project is for animal identification. It identifies any animal you upload as a JPEG file, PNG file, any image file, and it will find out what the animal is. It will detect what is the animal, and it will give you different descriptions about the animal. Apart from that, there's a lot of other features which I have added to it. For example, the authentication, but we'll come to that later. So for now, I'll just talk about why I made this. The app is like a combination of multiple things. So the first thing I added is a machine learning model, which I have trained myself. It is trained with various data sets available on Kaggle. And the reason I didn't train the model from scratch because there were already existing models like mobile net version 3. So I utilized that and I trained various animals which it was not good at recognizing on top of that. So that it is even better at recognizing those animals. So we'll jump into the demo and we'll talk about it more. So to start with, this is Wildlens AI. Okay, so I've already made an account. Then I will give this an account. Okay, so as you can see in the previous screen, there was also a continue as guest option. So for those of y'all who didn't want to sign in and just wanted to test it all out, you can just sign in as guest and I could immediately access what you're all seeing over here. So the first thing you see over here is species scanner. That's because you can add whatever various photos. So over here, I have already have a pictures, like I downloaded random pictures from the internet. So I will just select all of them and I will click open. Now it will just directly scan every single picture with a multiple scanning. And after it scans, it will tell you what it is. Now, because the net is a bit slow, it's taking a lot of time to process. But yeah, so every single image is being identified, and once it's identified, you see a tick mark. Now, for example, it says this is a humming bee. You can see the basic summary of what the humming bee is. It gives you a basic summary, and it tells you if it's threatened or not. If it's extinct, if it's endangered, it will give you the basic details. Additionally, down over here, you'll be able to see where it is in the food chain. Is it a producer, consumer? Is it a herbivore, carnivore, non-herbivore? Where it stays, its location, its habitat, and its status. So over here you can see it is near threatened. So therefore, the one main reason why this app would be useful for is in countries where poaching is allowed or hunting is allowed. So certain places like, for example, lobsters are of a very specific species where once a fisherman catch them, they release them back into the sea because they know it's of a rare species. So this app can help these hunters and poachers by when you recognize that they're endangered or close to extinct, you do not hunt them so that their species can continue existing. That's one of the reasons why this is good. Additionally, over here, so also now all of them problems are loaded by now. So you can see this is the flamingo, and this is the fly, and this is the wolf. Yeah, so it's telling me the specific type is a gray wolf, housefly. Additionally, over here you can see there's two things. There's a human as well as a liger. A liger is a hybrid of a tiger and a lion. I also didn't know it is a hybrid until they told me it's a hybrid. I thought it was a tiger only. And so after that, you can also ask questions over here. So, for example, where is the lion? Where do lions live? So, if you ask it, it will tell you lions are found in savannas, and it will tell you all about it. So you can, for it to be more accurate, you can ask it about specific images. For example, if you click this image, you can see over here the context changes to housefly, and if you click over here, it changes to flamingo. So it will become more specific regarding what image you have uploaded, and it will be able to tell you much better. Yeah. So other than that, it's also on top, as you can see, a webcam. So if I use the webcam over here, Okay, my face, I don't know if I'm visible, but yeah, okay, once again, let me just duplicate this. Okay, I'll capture my face and yeah. So my face detects a human being. So now to tell you about all about a human being, and it's saying that us human beings are of least concern, and we are actually a threat because we're going to destroy habitats, climate change, and a lot of other things. Yeah. And also we are of least concern. Yes. Now, for other example, I have a picture of a dog on my phone, which is it's my aunt's dog. So if I take that picture of the dog as well as myself both in the image, they will show. Maybe am I visible? Yeah, yeah. So like this, both of us inside the I don't yeah, yeah. So detect it both a human and a dog, and it will tell you about every single thing about it. Yeah. So it's the dog, it's an omnivore, it's a carnivore, it can be found in every environment. Overbreeding is a threat. So now normally most of these things we all have dogs as pets, but majority of us don't know that overbreeding is a threat. That if you neglect and abuse a dog, it can actually be a threat to the dog. So all these things can help it. Now, additionally, at the side over here, you can see an encyclopedia. So this is about literally any animal which you want. You can just search it up, and it will give you specific information by guarding through it. So, example, there are already a few animals, for example, over here like axolotl, and many people will not really know they exist, right? But it's not only these animals. For example, the dinosaur. So dinosaur, it will tell you that it's extinct, yeah, and that it was the apex predator in the olden days, and that it happened due to the natural impact over here. So there are multiple other animals if you all want to volunteer for any animal. So peacock. Peacock, okay. Peacock. Least concern and its habitat is in the subcontinent. So as you all know, peacock is yeah, an answer. Okay, yes. So this and this is scan history over here. So this is the scan history of every single thing that I've uploaded so far. I will tell you whatever content it has been. So currently all the content is 99%. But there's like that 1% confidence where it might not scan. But if you re-upload it, it will automatically scan again because it has been trained to do that. So there's certain tests where it gets confused for that, and exact reason that's the reason why it's not do it. Yeah, but other than that, it is always confident, and you can find your history saved here because you logged in. Now, if I log out, you can continue as guest. Yeah, and it's not saved over here because it is as guest. That was saved in my account, which is I had signed in for. Now, start there. Now, encyclopedia is also there. And one last thing I've created is this bot over here. So, if for example I want it to see what a dolphin is, and I ask it again, over here. What is the habitat of a peacock? So it came over there, and so this is another accessibility feature for those who cannot see and for those who cannot access it, so they can speak to the chat, and the chat will be able to talk about it. So that is the gist of what I have done. Yeah, that is the gist of it. You can also sign up, by the way. Once you sign up, you will get an email. So I use the backend is Superbase. This is the only free one which I thought would be nice. When you sign up, Superbase will send you a mail to verify whether you have indeed signed up. After that, it will access your information and you'll be able to log in whenever you are wanting to. You can log in. And after you log in, you can also, for in the future, save your scan history and everything. So my future plans for this product is basically to make it more gamified. So there was like when I was small, I used to like this app called this game called Pokemon, and I used to like the show called Pokemon. So I just want people in the world to like animals more exist in our world. And so I want to add like a feature where whatever animals you detect, you can keep it over here, and it will show you that you've detected so many species. There are these many more species left to be found. People like looking for animals more, and whenever they search for an animal, their first instinct is to care for the animal and not to harm the animal. That is the whole gist of it. So do you have any questions? For this, sorry for that. Okay, so the tech stack I use for this is, so the front end is React and White. That's the reason why it is very classy. I used React JS and White for it. Backend server is using fast API Python server as well as multiple backend servers. For example, my model is being trained. So my model, which is mobile version 3, mobile net version 3. So it has been trained on top of that. And I also use Grok API for the AI chat over here. So whatever image is being, it's first being sent to Grok API and then it is being utilized. Now, one of the many questions I get is why I use Grok API. Is because Gemini API doesn't have as many requests as Grok API available, and I find Grok API very useful for this because it does not need much of, it's not very heavy and it does not require uh, like I don't require Gemini to like a very big bot for this. I just require a very small, simple bot, so it's very simple for me to use. Uh, yeah, so the same thing is for like the vision AI. So another thing I use over here is, for example, if my model cannot detect it, I can ask Grok API to tell me what it is. For example, if you saw the previous thing where I uploaded a picture with multiple human beings, multiple animals in it, it will detect all the animals in it because it uses something called a YOLO model where it draws object-oriented boxes around every single animal inside it. Now, the first thing I do is I ask the Grok API to check whether there are multiple animals in it. So that if there is no multiple animals in it, we don't waste time by telling YOLO to draw a box. The moment it says yes, YOLO draws the boxes, and then my model will detect every single animal in each of those boxes, and that's what you see over there. So that is the main reason why I use YOLO as well. Then for the database, like I said, I use Superbase for it, and also an authentication feature, which is for both sign up as well as login. Uh, yeah, then I hosted on Render. The reason is because Render is one of the best ones to host both front end and back end, and my backend was the server, so I had to host it on Render as well. And it's directly connected to my GitHub as well. So Render directly gets it requests from from my GitHub, and it directly deploys it on the internet. And the version control is of course GitHub. So, like I explained, the animal classification, there are multiple. The main reason it classifies animals is because of the model I have trained. So, it first goes to the model, it detects it. Then, after that, if there's any queries or any information which you see over there, it asks Grok API to generate that information. And the AI chat at the site over here is also using Grok API. So, any other specific questions?